Hi, it's Caroline at For the Love of Crochet, and I have some crochet goodies for you today. I have some really interesting things that I've been hooking up. One is from a new book that I can't wait to share, and I'm going to save it for the end. The other one is a completed challenge using this specific yarn that I was gifted, and I was trying to use it in as many projects as possible, and I have completed that task. I also had a special request for a squirrel, so I made a cute little squirrel from another new book, so I will share that with you. And then I have just a couple of acquisitions I'd like to share. So I think we'll just get started. Thank you so much for dropping in, by the way, and if you haven't already subscribed, I hope you find something that you find valuable. I try and encourage basically the love of crochet in everything that I do, so I also try and find tips and tricks to help you with your amigurumi and encourage you to make garments if you never make garments, which I really love making. All right, so here we go. For the yarn that I was given. This was the actual first thing that I made, which is Chronically Crocheting's very easy no-sew cat pattern, and it's so tiny and cute, and this yarn is like a 2 or 3 weight, so it's really tiny, and it was really beautiful to work up. So that was the first one. And then the second thing I made was Lula. I used it for her shirt, and if you have a striped yarn, I'm noticing that I really love it paired with another yarn and just take turns using it, and it came out beautiful. And she got all the colors, but you can't see them all. So that was the second thing. Then the third and fourth thing, which was in a recent video, which was Bo the bear and the unicorn. I think she's called Lollipop Unicorn, because these are like lollipops by Aquari Wool. But another thing I wanted to mention about this is I used a cotton yarn, and I think I really like acrylic better, and so I think I want to make this again using acrylic yarn, because with the cotton I kind of get a little bit of spacing, and then with Caron Simply Soft, this is what I used for this guy, and he's much stiffer. So Caron Simply Soft really has a great texture, but it can be very stiff once it's worked up. So I kind of want to try this one in an acrylic yarn. Okay, so those were 1, 2, 3, 4 things. The next 3 are all brand new. If you're new here, you probably hadn't seen them, but they were in a previous video, and I will link that down below. But for the new stuff that I made, that I finished up the yarn with, this one. This cute little guy is a free pattern off of Rin Meow 21, and she has an Instagram and an Etsy shop. Now she'll sell this pattern, but you can also get this pattern for free, which I did, and I will link both of her Etsy shops and where I got the free pattern. So it's a very cute little rainbow bear to work up. The arms are made separately and the ears are made separately, but again, they're so tiny that they're so easy to whip up real quick and stitch on. It's possible that I didn't finish sliding to get the free pattern, but there's no bear butt back there, no bear tail. So that's that one. The next one that I worked up is from a pattern book that I got off Etsy, but you can also buy this in a hard copy form off of Amazon, but I believe the Etsy booklet that you download is much cheaper, and that's the one that I have. I have made this pattern before, but I made it again. Woo! And it was the bunny. Now, again, I was trying to finish up these last bits of the yarn, and so My dog is a little sleeping and she's dreaming and she's whining. So I just worked up just a few stripes in the middle, and then I tried to give them foot pads, and then I used it on the inside of the ear. But because I used Caron Simply Soft, the texture on this is very stiff, and I don't like it for this one. Now, I made this pattern before in a different one using latte cakes, and I loved it. Using it in Caron Simply Soft with the with this didn't come out as good as I expected, and yeah, and I'm even in the process of making the little bag, because it's little animals in hatching bags, and I was actually going to make the bag this time, and I started it, but you know, I'm working on other things too. So yeah, his ears are kind of twisted, and that's all because of the texture of the Caron Simply Soft. When worked tightly, it twists. So there's the bunny. The last thing I made is all Cassandra's fault. She's been going crazy, Craftable Ever After, with the leggy Froggy pattern. And if you haven't seen her latest video, she's been working it up in all kinds of new yarns that she got. Well, I had this little bit left after finishing this last project. And I said, let me see. I was looking and looking on my computer for a pattern to use up this last bit of yarn. And it wasn't until the end that I found Leggy Froggy. And I was like, okay, all right, I think this will work. So here he is. Whoop! I made the angry one. And okay, so since I didn't have very much of that yarn left, I mixed him with a white yarn. It was Shepsha's Katona Cotton in White. That is what I used, and I mixed it together, held them together, and I got this lovely effect. Now, he can cross his arms, and if you follow me on Instagram, I posted a picture of him as soon as I finished him. He's super cute. Now I can see the fandom around this project because it is super fast, super easy, and yeah, and then you can manipulate him to sit. I'll show you a picture that I posted on Instagram, and then, you know, you can pose him. I'm thinking he'd be good on your rear view mirror. Keep you company. I think I'm going to give him to my son because he drives a lot. So I think I'm going to give him to him so he can pose him in all the places he goes. So yeah, that is Leggy Froggy. That completes my using this yarn. I have finished, Pamela, and thank you. I think I used it pretty well. I'm really excited about all the projects it made. I really love that mixing it with white and the effects that you get, and then holding it together with white also gave it a lovely effect. So I'm very excited about it. And it's making me want an oldie but a goodie. And if you're a subscriber way from the beginning, you'll remember this guy. Whoop. Albert. This is Ziggy. I believe I named him Ziggy. And that he is worked up in a yarn just like Wonder Soft. I think that was Wonderland or Wonder Soft. And he had such a lovely design. And so I was getting the vibes and the feelings. I was getting the itchings, the hooks, the finger twitchings to make another Albert pattern. Now, if you've been with me a long time, you know that I had a problem with this pattern. I don't know if it's lost in translation, but nonetheless, it still works out for me. So I like making this pattern. So he might be coming up in another video in another colored yarn. Now, I had a very special request from a birthday girl who has a birthday coming up in October, and she has a fascination with all sorts of animals, and she requested a squirrel. And I think I delivered. So this is the squirrel pattern of Amigurumi Made Easy. Now, I used a variegated yarn for this striping, and it had blues and reds and greens, but you can barely see it in there after I brushed it. And in the camera, it's not picking up, but it is picking up the orange. This is actually bluish. So I made the squirrel for her, and I really love it. However, this is a lot of sewing. 7 pieces to attach, and the tail, I had no idea how to do it. So I attached him to the head, and I attached him here, and I'm using this as his kickstand so that he can sit like so. Because without that kickstand, this is just way too heavy. The head is too heavy. I did not use any weights, but also the pet brush to give him this fuzz on his ear and his tail. And I didn't do it a lot, but I did it a little bit. It makes it so soft. But if I make this again, I would probably put a rock in his front of his feet here, maybe in the bottom of his body, so that he can sit a little more sturdier. But he definitely needs that tail to sit. And then these are called haunches in the pattern. Great pattern. Very easy to follow. DIY Fluffies is an excellent pattern designer, and she has her own Etsy shop. I have done a couple of her patterns before. I've done a dinosaur and a rhinoceros that I loved, and it's so cool. She is a fantastic designer. Now, would I call this easy for a beginner? No, only because it had all these pieces that you needed to sew on, and that can be quite tricky and hard. But the tail was the hardest because you want to, and I didn't use glue, but I'm thinking I want to use glue, but because it's a gift, I want to give it like it is, and she is my niece, so if I need to redo something for her, I can. So there he is. Very cute pattern. Love this little squirrel, and he does fit in the bottom of my hand just perfectly with I like it. It's so cool. Yeah. Okay. Now this next pattern comes from a very new book that I was super excited to get, and I want to work up all of the patterns in there practically, and I even want to do a crochet along with it, but that would require for everyone to go and get the book. If you get this book, I would love to crochet with you. But I think this is I don't know how to explain it, but it's just appealing to me. And that is, and you can see all the tabs I made of all the ones I want to make first. Little Happy Circus. Now I'll show you what I made, but I want to show you the pattern. Here is the bear, and I don't know if the circus conductor or presenter or something, I don't know. We have a horse and a dancer. Here we have the lion and the presenter, conductor, whatever you want to call him. It's called Mr. Happy Circus. Here's a picture with just half their parts. So we have a lion, the bear, Mr. Happy Circus, the horse on top there, the dancer, the strongman, and the elephant. So, I mean, I'm just so thrilled with this book. I mean, look at this sweet elephant. Oh, they even have a clown. But you could totally make this super cute, okay? You can give him a rainbow shirt or rainbow hair and a red nose. You can definitely make him much cuter. And I think that's what's so appealing about this book is these are basic designs, but you can let your yarn and your creativity shine through on these patterns. And they have a walrus. They even have a design for popcorn or circus flags. But I love the way that the patterns are laid out. It is so clear, very easy to read, non-congested, and you can tell the patterns are just very simply done. And you can change up any of these colors, make changes, and it would, I mean, you could really do a lot with creativity in these designs. So I think that is why I love it so much. Let me show you what I made. Oh, dun dun dun. He is my circus bear in his little bottom. He's so cute. Now, I just went with the plain colors because with my first one, I tend not to get too creative and I use the design. And I definitely think a bear needs to be brown because sometimes when I work it up in different colors like pink and stuff, I'm like, I should have done it in brown. So that is why he stayed brown. But the horse is what I want to make next. But he is so lovely. He's pretty big. He is quite large though. So I want to work him up in a thinner weight yarn. But this one actually was pretty thick. I can't remember what it was. Oh yes, he was made with Yarn ID, brown, the Hobby Lobby yarn that says Yarn ID, and it says it's a 4-weight, but it works up so much thicker than a regular 4-weight or any other 4-weight. To me, it works up like a 5, and there is no spaces in between. It's really worked well. This thing takes a lot of stuffing though, too. I just love Mr. Circus Bear. He's so cute. He's so cute. I really, really like him. And with that, I saw this yarn, I love this yarn, and it is like a navy blue. It's bright blue though, with little flecks in it of color, and which gives me the circus colors, right? Red, yellow, green. And I want to make the horse. And there's such a glare on this. These pages are shiny. I want to make this horse in that blue rather than the black. They have him in black, and they have him have a lovely little mane and a big snout, and they even have like the chain for the muzzle that they put on. Very simple pattern. Everything is right here. And legs, body, head, ears, arms, halter, I guess that's what they called it. Halter, the muzzle piece. This is all halter. The feather holder, so he must hold something. Oh, even like his little tail and the thing that goes across the muzzle. So yeah, I'm thinking of making the horse in this one, and I'm really excited. But these patterns are not short. Like, there's 1,000 rows. There's lots of rows. But I also love the shaping on this. And so because there's so many rows, it takes a long time. And there's actually quite a bit of rows in the head as well. But it has a very nice shape. So that's the only thing with these patterns, is it's quite a bit of rows. And that's what discouraged me from starting another one. I thought, oh gosh, it's going to take me forever. Because I think that took me 4 or 5 days to make. It was long. In my last video, I believe I showed a blocking board I got, and I want to correct the name. So this says For the Love of Crochet. This is a blocking board I bought off of Brenda, who is BYC Crochet on YouTube. If you email her, if you message her, she will, if you are interested in this blocking board. For some reason, I called her Brenda the Newbie Crocheter, because when I searched for her on YouTube, I typed that in and she popped up. So I'm not sure if that was an older name for her. It looked like it was, but you know. Anyway, I wanted to correct that it's BYC Crochet. And I love this board, the design, the shaping, they customize it for you. They can put different designs on there for you. I chose the granny square. So I just wanted to correct that real quick. The other acquisition that I got is yarn. So I bought some yarn off Etsy, and it was hand-dyed yarn by So Happy Creative off of Etsy, and this was the free gift that she gave me with what I purchased. Wait till you see it. Look at those colors. Do you see that black and white? So it's zebra mixed in with the bright colors. I fell in love with that when I saw it. Never have I seen that before. That black and white mixed with zebra. I mean, black and white mixed with the colors. So this is called Zebra DK Superwash Merino. Yarn weight is 4-ply, 100 grams, 3.5 ounce skein, approximately 400 meters per 100 grams. And it's by So Happy Creative. She has more of this, but in different colors. And I think I will be looking out for this one again. I just don't know what I can make with it with one skein. I'm gonna have to do a project like this, but I'm like, I want to see what it looks like. Maybe this will show up on Albert Pattern Bear. And then I also got this little package of minis, and these have all kinds of glorious colors. I don't know if it kind of matches a little bit. And I don't know what I'm going to make with these. They just were so beautiful. And then again, this was the free gift she threw in. Very happy with my purchase. Came right away, considering the distance and postage. I was notified immediately that it was sent off, so I got the email. And this is hand-dyed yarn just for you, So Happy Creative. I love it. I can't wait to use these. This is the colors. So that has been my experience thus far. I do have a couple of whips going on right now. I'm currently making the Amaneko cat. That book is fantastic. I loved reading it. I think that's the first amigurumi book that I actually enjoyed reading. So if you have that book, it is, I can understand why. I believe another podcaster gave those out as gifts, and Crochet Ma for Life recently posted that that's her comfort amigurumi pattern that she likes to make, and I was like, I really want to make that. So I got my hands on the pattern and I started making one. Now, the pattern was a little hard for me to get used to. It's easy, but it's a little hard for me to get used to because of the wordage, the abbreviations it uses, or the way it writes the pattern. So it'll say something like increase every third. I can't tell you how. It took some getting used to, and I still had to think about it every time. But this is what I was using to make the Amaneko cat. And I'm doing the smaller version, not the big version. And this is Mandala Tweed Stripes in the color Cat's Eye. And I just saw those colors and I thought, oh, okay, it's going to work up really pretty. It's not working out really pretty. It's pretty dull. It's pretty dull. It looks yucky. And so these colors were not pretty. They're not bright. They're very dull looking to me. I guess I should have started from the middle, and I'm almost, actually I did start in the middle, and it's not that bright. Even though it looks bright, it's not that bright. So as I was making this, I lost interest. Not only is this a gazillion rows for the arm, I didn't have another color that I thought would, I don't have, maybe I didn't want to get up. So I was supposed to make the feet part like a different color, the paws part like black or white, and then the rest of him be colored, and I forgot I wanted to do that, and then I thought, well, he's gonna be a total mixed up cat anyway. And so I started working. I just don't like these colors, and it's so many rows. It took forever to make this arm. So I lost interest because I guess the legs are going to be even longer. So I kind of lost interest from the yarn and from the amount of rows it took. Hopefully I can finish that one. The other whip I have going on is the little hatching bag that this is supposed to. We never make the hatching bag. At least nobody I know, podcasters who have this little hatching bags book. All the links will be down below. And she sells those separately on her Etsy shop. So if you just wanted one pattern, but so many of the patterns look cute that it's like you're better off buying the whole book. So I started working up the hatching bag and Karen Simply Soft in the yarn that was left over from my garment. And it is a top, not a sweater. I keep calling it a sweater, but it's a top. So yeah, I lost interest because it's a gazillion rows. So yeah, that's what I have got going on. I will hopefully check in later this week and give you some updates on these incomplete patterns. And I wonder if I'll be able to dig my hands in this glorious baby. Talk to you soon. Bye.